do you say we do a video about fractional gold today? Been getting a lot of questions, so I think it's time. All right, fractional gold. I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts. How about that? A lot of us, we are getting into that realm of, well, is it for you? Is it for someone else? It's not for everybody. You got to be committed, or you got to be a little bit on the conservative side whenever you're spending your daily or your monthly purchases. And that's difficult. Not everybody can afford the 1 ounce version. I get it. I understand. But for me, I do like to mix in a little bit of fractional gold, right? I do. It fits that need of having to have something coming in the mailbox every month that allows me to keep stacking gold and silver. And that's what's important to me. Now, I'm going to give you some do's and some don'ts. Like I said, obviously the 1 ounce version, probably your better option, right? But there's some options that you should avoid. And number one being is these gold backs. Obviously, I have them right here on the table. So obviously don't stack these. They're good for gifts. They're good for a certain scenario. If we ever return to a gold standard, I do like this option, but I just don't see us going. We need to, but I just don't see us going back to a gold standard. So having something like this, yeah, I can see it. That's why I have them. I'm going to keep them, but that's a whole nother video. All right. So fractional gold, the do's and the don'ts. All right. Obviously the 1 ounce version, stack it if you can afford to stack it. The fractional, like I said, it's a touchy subject. All right. So here we go. The collectible side, I normally don't collect gold, but I've found that I have been collecting gold. I've been going through my stuff, and I do have some collectible pieces like this right here. This is from 2016. It's an SLQ, right? Standing Liberty Quarter. If you guys don't remember, one of my favorite designs ever. It's one of the coins that has just gone up extremely fast. And I do have the dime. Yeah, there it is. So I do have the dime right here. Man, just timeless design, right? It just looks good in gold, and they're fantastic. And I've also been collecting these Perth Lunar Gold series because they look fantastic. They're great designs. So over time, right? I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. So over time, I'm going to get my money back because in my lifetime, right, I still have at least, hopefully, a good 30 years. I'm thinking that gold is going to be over $3,000 an ounce. A lot of people think it's going to be this decade. I'm not sure. I can't predict the future. I wish I could. But in my lifetime, I know gold is going to be $3,000 an ounce. So if I have a little bit of collector gold in here, that suits a purpose for me. It's not tied to the spot price of gold. So that's something that's important to me. But this stuff right here, you can always sell it in the future for a higher price and add more weight in gold. That's one way to look at it. Now, as far as sizes, I'll tell you what, I normally don't buy anything less than a 1/4 ounce of gold. Now, if you're in the bar realm and if you're a big time bar stacker, obviously you kind of want to stay in that 10-gram gold bar size. Okay. That just makes more sense. But as far as American here, United States, we only have one option, and that is the American Gold Eagles. So that's what I stack. 1/4 ounce American Gold Eagles. It's my favorite gold to stack. It really is. It fills every need that I have. It's fungible. It's liquid. It just fits the bill. I like the 1/2 ounce Gold Eagles as well. Probably the Goldilocks, as I've called them in the past. Easy to liquidate this stuff too if you have to. But the full ounce, obviously, if you can afford to stack a full ounce of gold, stack it. But as you guys know, there's several people out there that can't afford to stack more than a 1/4 ounce or a 1/10 ounce of gold, and they still buy fractional. And that's because they're of the belief that this stuff is going up in value. All right, so what are the negatives of stacking fractional gold? The negatives are the premiums. You're looking at anywhere between 20% premium on your 1/10 ounce gold. And that's on the low side, right? So if you go to buy it and then you go to sell it the next day, you're going to get reamed. Okay. So whenever you're buying fractional gold, you have to be committed long term. You have to be. It's just the way it is. Now, if you are going to just stack it and just hang on to it, you're going to do a lot better in the future, because the price of gold, if it goes to $3,000 an ounce, like a lot of experts are saying, then guess what? That half ounce of gold right here, it might be priced at $1,500 an ounce, but you tack on the premium on that, guess what? You just made a little bit more on that purchase. So remember back in the early 2000s, 1 ounce gold was about the same price as this right here. So just a little bit of perspective for you. So those who just say, just buy silver instead, I disagree. If you're going to just stack 10th ounces, sorry, other YouTubers and whatnot. I'm going to hit on you again here, but I'm not doing the challenges, and there's nothing wrong with that. I understand the concept of having to create content, but it's just not for me. I get it, but it's just, whenever I look at it on the money side of it, the money part of it, how much I have to commit, it just doesn't add up. I can't read it either. It's difficult to read. 1 ounce version, absolutely, you should absolutely stack it. But I also believe you should be putting away some fractional gold, because not everybody's going to be able to afford. That window is closing, right? The window of people being able to afford gold is closing rapidly. Not everybody's going to be able to afford it in the future. A lot of people have a hard time right now. Most Americans, they don't have $400 saved up in their checking account. It's not because they're smart. It's because they just can't afford it. Inflation has just sucked them dry, and they just can't afford to stack, or they just don't know to stack. So having fractional is going to pay off in the long run. Should you stack it exclusively? No. I think you should save up and buy the 1 ounce version when you can. It's the better option, but having fractional, it's definitely desirable. It's going to have its place in the future. And if you're a long-term holder, which is what you should be of gold, you shouldn't buy today and sell next month. You should be in the stock market if that's your MO. Well, that's where I'm going to be at with fractional gold, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Am I wrong? Am I right? And feel free to hit that subscribe button whenever you get a chance. It helps me. Don't forget to like. And guys, as always, keep grinding on your stack.